All right, good morning everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. You see what we're doing here? We're doing a slab for another house. It's slab on grade house, no basement. These are becoming more popular in our area. A lot of these houses do have basements. This particular one does not. So we're just pouring a slab. Through the center, there's a couple of haunch footers to support bearing walls in the middle to help with the roof line on the different houses. There's different footers for the different styles. We have a real modest rebar grid in there. Everything's real solid. It was a little bit soft with all the stone. We could not wheelbarrow on it, so we just drug the concrete with our green chute. I think it's laying up there now. Number 2's cleaning up. I heard 3 pulling in here shortly, and we'll get this poured and we should be out of here by 10 o'clock on to our next project. We have grade pins set with nails in them. We pull a string from top of wall to top of wall, pull it real tight, and put in a grade pin where we want our screed, and we put a nail in right at the string height, and we pour concrete right to that, pull that out as we're pouring. So now I'll just bring this screed right down. There's one of our footers right through there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Here comes our last truck. We'll get him mixed up and get this poured. Okay, in case I didn't do it, I know I didn't do a good intro this morning. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. I started a YouTube channel 2 years ago. It's growing nicely, but I wish it would grow faster. So I'm reaching out to everybody who has a YouTube channel to do a t-shirt exchange. I'll send you a shirt, and you send me a shirt, and we'll talk about each other's videos and see if we can't boost the channels as well as get some more information to our viewers. Today is my son's channel, Gunpowder and Freedom. It's all about gun safety, anything you want to know about guns, as well as some pouring of concrete, as well as some funny stuff.
Property development, house building.
Property development. He's building his house, so you can tune in, subscribe, and watch Steve build his house. So if you have a YouTube channel and you want to join in, email the office, Facebook Steve, and let's get your t-shirts on our videos. Matt's Fresnoing the concrete. Number 3 truck is mixing up, I believe.
Cleaning up.
I'm sorry, cleaning up. See that? I get ahead of myself. So we have to hit this one time. Everything here gets covered with carpet or tile. We want it to look pretty nice, but it doesn't have to look garage more. So we're going to stay here and hit this a little bit, just a couple minutes on this, then we're off to our next project. A pretty neat project. We're doing a floor for a garage, ripping out their driveway, whole driveway, curb, and I believe this is my last side job for the year. And how we got this job, the customer is a viewer, and I believe he said he was number like 50 subscriber, so he's early on our list. He's been waiting a long time for us. I hope we don't disappoint him. Stay tuned.
Okay, so Matt and Jim are buzzing across first truck, making it look tip-top notch for getting covered. Right, Matt? Post to post. Second truck, which is over here, and a lot of this area over here is still pretty greasy to get on. If you get on it when it's still too greasy, it doesn't really finish nice. Like, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but First truck's here, that's finishing real nice. Second truck is really gritty and it just looks sloppy. So just give it probably another 15 or 20 minutes. Let this bleed water and grease kind of evaporate off, and that should be good to go. And then third truck over here is still too wet to even go along the edge and clean up. So just playing the waiting game now, and in typical dad fashion, left me a camera with the battery almost dead. Okay, so the concrete for number 3 truck is now tight enough. We went around and hit the edges on that, made it all nice. I'm assuming Matt buzzed across it with a gadget to take out the bull float lines, so it's looking pretty decent. But as you can see, we're still going to jump on it and give it a nice little touch up. Alright, so there's the pad. It's all finished. Good to go. And the next few days for the framers and everybody else that wants to walk on this and set stuff on it. So we're getting the trucks loaded up now to head over and meet up with my dad and Tommy to see what job they're getting into. So we'll see you guys over there.
Okay, this is our project. We're going to put a new driveway just about a foot off of the fence line. We're going to put a curb there to help divert all the water so it doesn't go into the neighbors. We're going to hug this wall, wrapping this with expansion joint all the way up. This all becomes new concrete. Nice little project going on in there. This is his new garage, and I just put some paint marks on the ground. 16 foot wide, 22 foot deep, and that lines us up with the back corner of his house. Right across here. This all gets dug out, hauled away, and we're gonna pour a slab. He'll do a 3-course foundation on top of the slab, a doorway, garage door. Let's go. My hole is dug. That's basically it. First form we're going to run right here. I want this front corner level with the garage door. Maybe even, no, we'll shoot for level. A lot of, he's a car guy, so torches, welder, anything with small casters can just wheel right in here. No steep ramp, we'll keep that to a minimum, nice and level, and then everything will drain this way. This side will be steeper. So 22 foot 3 inches for this form, and we'll get it set for height. Forming up our box for the garage floor. Since we have a hump here, I can't just pull a straight line. So 2 different ways. I put a 2x8 up on edge. So 2x8 up on here. Now we pulled a string from top of 2x8 to top of 2x8 and made that level. Second way we could do it is we have our laser set up, and you can see the green line right at the 6-inch mark. Right here, we're at 6 1/8. I'd say that's pretty close. We want to be level from there to the garage. Now we'll have a slight taper down with some fall coming away here. That's how we did that. Now we can pull our numbers same way. Running a string across, level across, Jim.
Yeah, you're not using a laser?
We can do both. I like double checking. Who knows if that laser even works, but when we do a laser along with a level. Okay, so that's that. Now we go from corner to corner and corner to corner and check our diagonal measurements. We want those diagonal measurements to be exactly the same.
You did.
Okay. So there's that. This form has 1 inch of fall to the front. Garage floor has no floor drain in it, so a little bit of taper on it, right out. This is just temporary screwed in. We're going to remove this. Tommy's due back in a couple minutes with a truckload of stone. Okay, down an 1/8. I don't know if you can see that right at the 6 inch. You're at 6 right now. Keep going, another 1/8. Good.
Too much.
So this is level, inch climb. Everything is to a string. Now we'll check our diagonal. Okay, we just had to adjust that corner. 27.2 and an 1/8. Oh, moving it around a little bit. Right there. Switching corners. 27.2 and an 1/8 right there. Right there. Okay, so now we know we're good. Everything is strung nice and straight. Here comes our lumber for the driveway. Just getting them pre-built in the backyard out of the way. I'm going to start ripping out this asphalt. Everybody keeping busy. How's this side looking, Steve? Just get some kickers on there. Okay, looking good. Set for height, once again, level, inch climb, and level. All right, Tommy's back with a stone. I got a lot of the asphalt peeled up. It's coming up real nice. The guys are finishing up the braces. And they'll join in and help me put the stone right on the money. This is how I did my garage at home. We've done other projects like this and it works out pretty well. Real well. Quick tamper, recheck, regrade, almost done. Okay, almost done tamping. You can see this really just compacts ever so slightly. This limestone locks together real nice. Sorry for yelling, it's just noisy out here. If that was gravel, everything would move. That's why I prefer this. So this is how I'm going to leave it for today. Just about all the excavations done. I left about 8 feet up there underneath my front tires. That'll help the mixer turn off of the street, and we'll dig that out right before we get there. So this is all down to sub-base. It might be a little bit high right here. Not a big deal. Once we start pulling our forms and working out, then we'll see that right away. Pouring that first thing in the morning. Maybe you'll see me, maybe you won't. I got summoned for jury duty, so I have to call here in 5 minutes. They said call at 5 o'clock and see if I got picked. So hopefully I didn't. I already backed it up from June. They wanted me to come in June, so I sent them an email asking if I could back it up to winter time. Well, they picked tomorrow, and it's really not winter time, but it was better than June. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll be here, or maybe I turn the camera over to the guys. Either way, see you tomorrow.
Good morning, everybody. We got the traction mats laid out. Our concrete truck is sitting there waiting for us to get this show on the road. It is just me, Matt, Jim, and Stan this morning. So we're gonna get this garage pad poured and then get some of the driveway formed up and poured as well. We got a nice 2x2 grid going. Jim's tying it up. I'm gonna get the camera set up. We'll get the concrete truck in here and get it going. Okay, so the garage pad is poured and bull floated. Everything's nice and flat. I'm sure my dad said it yesterday, but we have, I think, like 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, maybe an inch, I don't know, a fall going that way. No floor drain in here, so troweling should be pretty smooth sailing. As you can see, unlike my garage pad, the forms stayed nice and straight. The ground was nice and dry, so none of the kickers pushed. Plus, we had an appropriate amount of kickers on it. And actually, during the pour, as you can see, the driveway is soaking wet. Our mixer driver actually had a hole in his water tank, so he was losing a little bit of water during the pour. So we just kind of guessed on how much concrete we needed to get him in here as quickly as we could so that he can get cleaned up and get back to the shop to get his truck squared away. But I don't know why, but it's usually every time my dad is not here, something like that happens. So, Dad, anytime I tell you that something like this happens, I'm not lying, because now it's on camera. So now we just wait for the concrete to set up. We'll probably edge it and then start troweling it. We're gonna go ahead and get the first pad formed up and get the truck coming here shortly for that. We'll get that poured. We are doing a 3.5 inch curb on the fence side, so that'll be fun. Okay, just to give everybody the rundown, the garage pad is finished. Matt gave it a real nice fine broom edge, so as the homeowner pulls his cars in and out of here, you know, he doesn't spin going into the garage or anything. He's got some traction there. The first driveway pad is formed up, wired, and we have rebar in. We have expansion joint coming on the truck, so we're just waiting on him to show up so we can get this poured in the curb. My dad told me not to do any more after this, but it would be really nice to get one more pad in, just so that as we get back into this corner, we have an extra 11 feet to broom off of for this corner, because this is going to be shaded tomorrow morning, so it's going to stay wetter, and then that means we have to watch the amount of weight that we put on our broom handle. So we'll get the pad over here formed up, all that formed up and ready. That'll get poured tomorrow. So right now we're just playing the waiting game. Okay, so the first driveway pad's poured. I'm not really sure if I had the angle, but whenever I got down to this section here, I turned, started pulling the concrete with the straight edge this way while leading with the curb side of the straight edge. That way, since we're putting a curb, we need fall coming out this way to keep that water draining so it doesn't just sit there. We have a little bit of fall going that way. We have a quarter bubble coming out. Leading with this straight edge gets this area down a lot faster. So as it rains and the water comes down, instead of going straight into the curb, it's going to kind of follow that swale and hopefully push out that way. So that's why we did that. So got this pad all finished. Starting to grade this. 235. And look who finally shows up. Oh, he's hiding now. I'll get him. I'll get him. There he is, juror number 12. Finally showed up.
Hey. Well, I did not get picked for jury duty. I had a little speech prepared for the judge. I got about 3 words out, and he said, "That's it. Go ahead and go to work. You can go. You're excused." So I went whenever I was called. They didn't need me, obviously. The judge let me go, so I was back out here with the guys. The guys didn't need me. They were doing real well, but it was just fun to be here. Finish this project up tomorrow. So stay with us. See you then. Okay, chaos is over. Easy 15 feet to go as long as we don't run short. Don't even say running short on a Friday. Okay, going good. Just finally started brooming the concrete. Tom's finishing up the cuts on number 1. We'll be pulling this curb shortly. I only put a little bit of calcium in here this morning. A tough pour over there with that little section with this wall. Prepping as we're pulling the mixer back. We just don't want that concrete taken off on us. So a little bit slower pace, a little chaotic at times. I apologize to everybody. Here's our curb. Okay, joiner on the stick, cleaning those up. Makes it a lot easier than stretching out there. We can get them all at the same time. Voila, that one's done. So then we have knee boards here. We can go down the joint with our 6-inch edger and clean up. Almost ready to get on here. You good? As soon as this gets a little bit tighter, I'll pull this curb. Let's see what these guys are working on. Tight squeeze with the wall and the fence. Nothing the boys can't handle, right? Alright, I'm gonna jump down here maybe and help out. We have our cut coming down, stay in center and straight. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, I am bouncing all over the place. Got all this cleaned up. Steve's brooming, pulling my brackets off, throwing them in the neighbor's yard. Hopefully they don't get mad. Jim's behind, taking out the pins. Watch your knee. There you go. I made these in metal shop in 9th grade. Nah, just kidding. Okay, a couple more pins. What's Matt up to? Matt, I forgot you were here. Just cleaning up around the wall. He gets the fun stuff. Once he gets another 2 feet, now we can hang over that wall and go ahead and do that. 3 more pins. We'll be pulling this. Brooming here, that's all broomed. I'll catch that in a minute. You good? How many subscribers you gained last night?
50.
Nice. Yeah, good day. Thanks, everybody. We had a good night as well. We crossed 39,000. I'm really excited about it. Okay. As soon as we get this pins out, we'll get this curb pulled off. Okay, here's the tricky part, filming and doing this at the same time. This is why I need to hire somebody to come in and video. We miss so much good footage because it's strapped to my head or hanging on a tree branch or behind the truck. See how soft it is, still moving. I'm putting very light pressure on there. When you have to, you can scrape up a little bit of cream right in there. And so on. Voila. How's it going there, Steve? A little tight?
A little tight, but good.
Yeah, looks nice. All right, curb is all cleaned up. They're opening up joints. We'll be brooming truck 2 in minutes. All right. Starting at the okay, clean this up a little bit. Ready for a broom. My intersection all done. Except my big head's blocking the shadow. Steve's cleaning up the road a little bit. That curb's old, crooked. It goes down about 2 feet and there's a water line under there. We didn't want to mess with any of that. For me, Jim, broom me. Now I can start barking out the orders. Okay, cleaning up my knee board marks. A couple of these and we are done. What do you think, Ron? Does the process look like the videos I post?
It absolutely does.
Good. Except for the cameras laying over in the dirt. Yeah, where's that new brush go? This is a perfect day for this. I can't imagine wanting to do anything else today.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement on that?
Get this weekend started.
We all know how that's gonna go. One more little thing. All right, there it is. About 2.5 days. And that's what you can have. The curb was the hardest thing with the fence and the wall. Just a little tricky working around it. Made it tight. We're gonna go ahead and get this sealed. Just as soon as it tightens up a little bit and I can walk on it, and I can get a better application on it. And we just have to fluff this dirt back in, sweep this street. That is all done. Right to the street. There you go. And the curb. Now they can landscape right up to the curb. Matt went down at about 3.5 inches with a sponge and cleaned it up. So now the dirt only has to come up to the driveway height. It doesn't have to go to the top of the curb. It can go right in that area there, and it'll still look good. All right, pizza break, and on to the next one.